Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing this eyeshadow look and I want to talk to you about something that I recently did. It's just one very easy way to give your room a bit of a refresh. It really transforms the space. I recently did it in my bedroom and I'm feeling so much better about it. If you've never been here before, hey, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I enjoy eyeshadow, particularly colorful eyeshadow, and I upload several videos every week. So I've already primed my eyes. I use the Glamlight Icing Primer. Everything that I'm using is either mentioned or, if possible, linked below in the description box. Today, I definitely want to use the Lure palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. And then I have my palette pull-in shade. I can card above the video explaining what that is. But my palette pull-in shade is going to be this peach shimmer. How am I going to use a peach shimmer? I have no idea how I'm going to incorporate that because I had a kind of a specific plan for this look. Peach shimmer, and it's not a really amazing shimmer. This is a little bit of Nomad's older formula. I think it's not bad, but it's not the most impactful foiled sort of shimmer, not like what's in the Lure palette. I don't know how I'm going to use that, but I'm going to challenge myself because that's the point of palette pull-in. I am going to zoom you guys in and get going with this look. I'm going to go in with my original plan and then think along the way about how on earth I'm going to incorporate a peach shimmer. Within the Lure palette, I've got a Blend Bunny B1 brush and I'm going to pick up the shade Explore. Part of my plan for today's look involves shadows which I haven't used at all yet within the Lure palette, and Explore is one such shadow. So I recently reorganized my bedroom. You know, you get to the point where you're kind of tired of your home. You're just frustrated with the way things are and the places where stuff accumulates and clutter and stuff, just stuff everywhere, right? We are living in a townhome, which is 2-bedroom, and I'm not complaining. We have what we need. We have more than we need because if we didn't have more, we wouldn't have clutter. All of our needs are met and we are blessed. I'm just saying, we're feeling a little bit cramped. Part of that is my husband being in school. He's got so many books, and we love books, and books don't eat, so I don't mind them taking up a little bit of space, but at some point you start to feel buried in your library. Anybody else? Just me? No, I know I'm not the only one. So anyway, I was getting a little frustrated with just furniture and the way things were and feeling like, oh my goodness, the bedroom stuff, the dining room table, all of it's secondhand. And it was just starting to feel kind of grubby, kind of old and tired. It was starting to feel tired. A Blend Bunny B3 into Tentacles. This is a beautiful deep purple. I want to smoke out this area a little bit. Actually, I should bring the blue over a bit more so it doesn't get fully buried. So anyway, I was feeling a bit stuck, and there are other things going on in my life that were overwhelming me and making me feel like I couldn't seem to focus, and I decided I wanted to rearrange my bedroom because if you aren't able to replace furniture, rearranging it can make it feel like everything's new again. It can really be a refresh to your room. It can be a new start. And I have found from moving every couple of years, I have learned that when you move, you unload the moving truck and you bring everything into the house, and it's really a matter of, okay, where can I put this thing? Where's it gonna live? You organize your rooms based on that. You know, you put the bed here, you put the bureau there, this is how you want to fill your closet, etc. And then you live like that. And I have learned that that might not be the optimal organizational schematic for that room. In fact, it very rarely is, because you didn't take time to look at the layout before setting things up. You simply put things where they could go based on the immediate needs at the time. Like, I need to go cook dinner for my family and we have a home full of boxes, so I'm just gonna put those over here and I'll figure it out later. And it's the I'll figure it out later that really gets me stuck, because often I don't figure it out later. I just leave it and we live like that. Same brush, I'm gonna grab Catch Me. Sorry, the same B1 brush. I'm grabbing Catch Me, just hitting the edges of this blue to soften it a smidge. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I want to pick up the shade Sea Nymph. This is still the Blend Bunny B1. I'm just going to grab Sea Nymph and I'm going to start it in the middle of my crease area because I don't know how it's going to look. I just know that it was calling to me, much like a siren, and I wanted to incorporate it in today's look. So here is Sea Nymph. Anyway, my rooms were set up like that. You move in, you put stuff, and you live like that. So I wanted to refresh my room by reorganizing, and I texted my husband, do you mind if I move some furniture around? And he's like, why? Because he's a man and he doesn't care. And I said, but because I'm feeling stuck and frustrated. And since we just signed a lease until, almost the middle of next year, I don't want to live with this anymore. I just want something different. And we're not investing in new furniture right now. Do you mind if I move some furniture around? And if we hate it, we can switch it back. He's like, okay. He would have cared, honestly. If he hated it, he would tell me and we would have to move it back. So I was genuinely concerned that he wasn't ambivalent and I might need to, I might find something I liked and then he didn't like. So that Sea Nymph shade is really pretty, but I didn't want to bring it all the way in. So I'm taking Lost at Sea and putting it over here. Anyway, I set my kiddos up with a movie and I went upstairs and started hauling furniture all over our small bedroom. We mainly had the bed on one wall and then the crib on a different wall. And I took a before picture. Now the room was chaos. There was stuff everywhere. The bed was unmade, but it is what it looked like before. But just as far as you can see the way it was set up, you walked into the room and the bed was immediately to the right. And then the crib was directly in front of you and there was a straight shot to the bathroom door. That's the way it was set up. And then we have this big balcony door. And some of the light from the balcony was hitting just part of the bed, and the bed was partially blocking other parts of the light, and the room didn't feel bright. The bed felt like it was tucked away in some dark corner, which in theory is good because you sleep there, but on the other hand, it just felt like it was a hole, like just a little hovel, and it didn't feel inviting or cozy or comfortable. I'm trying to decide what shimmer to use. Now, I was thinking of using the pearl shade up here. This one has gotten kind of a lot of use because it's a beautiful shadow, and I know that this would work really well with the peach shimmer of my palette Poland. I'm not sure. I was thinking also using Folklore maybe instead to work with the blue crease. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll pick up Pearl with a flat brush. I really think this shadow is beautiful, but more than that, initially I wasn't planning on using this shadow today. I'm going to spray it. It's a little bit flaky, so I'm going to spray it and that'll make it more impactful and easier to use. When I saw my palette pull and I wanted to make sure I can tie into that. So I'm placing Pearl at the inner part of my lid and doing a bit of a faux cut crease up here. I'm just going to lay this down on all of the blank lid space, I think. What I did with my room was I basically switched the bed and the crib. So the crib was in the far corner along the bathroom wall, and I moved it over into the opposite corner where the bed was, and it is all the way in the corner tucked against the wall. Then I took the bed, well, not so much then. At first it was just chaos. You know, when you're reorganizing a room, everything just moves into the middle, and then you shift this direction so you can move that thing, and then you shift this direction so you can move that. Yeah, that's what I was doing. But anyway, the way it ended up was now the bed is on the wall opposite and directly facing the sliding glass door. So now the light comes in and shines upon the entire bed. It's also more centered under the ceiling fan. The crib is now in the dark corner, which works perfectly because there's usually a small child sleeping in it, and it's off the bathroom wall. So when my husband wakes up early and goes in to get a shower, his noises in the bathroom don't come through the thin walls of the apartment complex and wake up the baby in the crib. She's now on the other side of the room. This is pretty. I'm gonna take my finger, I think, and pick up Bioluminescent. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna use that to transition from this pinky shimmer into the blue-purple mattes. Now when you walk into the room, the bed is right in front of you, and that makes me want to make the bed. I want the bed to be tidy, clean, inviting, fresh, because it's the first thing you see as you walk in, and it is the focal point of the room. You walk in, bam, light is shining on the bed, ceiling fan is spinning over the bed, the light is illuminating the bed. I want the bed to be made. So that right there incentivizes me to tidy up my room and make it feel welcoming and comfortable. Then the crib is tucked away in the corner where it doesn't need to be a focal point, and it's in the dim lit area of the room. Ooh, so pretty. I'm gonna clean off my finger. I'll grab that same flat brush and just work these two shimmers together a little bit. Everything else pretty much stayed the same. There's a pile of diapers and wipes that goes next to the crib. Then I had a small rocking chair and a jewelry armoire and my husband's bedside table, and that's everything. So really I just moved those two largest pieces of furniture, but it made such a huge difference. And now it's truly amazing. When I walk in the room now, I walk in, I turn right, and I have to walk around the foot of the bed to get to the bathroom door, but I never walk into my room just to get to the bathroom. So I walk in and there's a slightly open space, and I go over towards the window or the sliding glass doors, and there's more open space, and there's a comfortable chair, actually 2 chairs now. There's a comfortable chair, and I have multiple times, since doing this like 3 days ago, I have many times found myself going upstairs to just sit with the baby. This is back into one of my blending brushes. It doesn't matter which one. I'm just tapping the edge of the blue shimmer into the mattes. To sit with my baby and rock. And when I sit in that space, and I'll show you the other picture, when I sit in that space, I'm looking at the room from the opposite angle, and I'm recognizing how comfortable it is. It's like a little haven for me now. It's this small respite in my house. I am amazed at the difference that simply rearranging furniture can make. It's like painting a room. You know, a couple coats of paint and the room feels fresh and new. Reorganizing your furniture will do exactly the same thing. So now I have this sweet little place of actual rest. It doesn't feel cluttered. It doesn't feel messy. It doesn't invite me to pile things and have a mess everywhere. I sent before and after pictures to my sister, and she gave me some of her thoughts. This is looking so beautiful. It's now time for my palette pull-in shade. So again, the shadow here is called Moon. I'm taking it on a small blending brush, and I think I'm going to spray it. I have no idea how this is going to go. Am I going to spray it? Let me lay it down dry first. I'm going to place this on my inner corner. Yeah, that looks okay, I think. Lay it on the inner third of my lower lash line. I mean, it's not really working as an inner corner highlight because it's too mid-toned, but I don't dislike it either. Let me go back into the lower palette and finish up the lower lash line while I tell you what my sister's thoughts were. I did this recently in a look which will be featured in my next while I was out, but I'm going to do it in today's video too. This is a creme gel liner. This is the color Crystal Crush from ColourPop. It's a bright, vibrant pool blue, and I'm going to lay this on my waterline, so I'm tight lining with it, but I'm also, wherever the peach shimmer is not, I'm going to drag it down under the lower lash line. So it's going to become my lower lash line color. So my sister had some interesting thoughts. She said the way that the room was set up before, you walked in and there was a straight line from the bedroom door to the bathroom door. And so everything on the side of that seemed to just be a place for clutter. It felt like the purpose of that thoroughfare was simply to get from this door to the bathroom door, and everything else was an afterthought. The way the room is set up now, the bed is the focal point. You walk in and it is clearly a bed room. That's what the room is for. And therefore you are more motivated to focus on the bed. Like I said, simply making the bed, it makes the room feel whole and complete. It makes the room feel like it has a purpose. It's not just a pathway with stuff on either side. And her thoughts really make sense to me because that is, in hindsight, that's what it felt like. I walked from this door to that door and the rest of the room was a secondary purpose. But now the room feels like it has meaning, and it feels so welcoming, comfortable, inviting, safe. It's amazing. How beautiful is this lower lash line now with that Crystal Crush liner dropping down into the lashes themselves? Really pretty, but I want to brighten it up a little bit more. So with that small blending brush, I'm going back into Lost at Sea. I'm just going to hit the very edge underneath to bring in a lighter blue tone. I had a bit of an interruption, but what I did was on my lower lash line, I took a smaller flat brush and dipped in a bottle. I sprayed it and I laid it down on top of that blue Crystal Crush shadow. And now all I need is to deepen this outer corner just a little bit more. So I've taken a smudger brush back into Tentacles and I'm hitting the very edge of my outer lower lash line. I think that's looking very beautiful. I'm going to go off camera and finish up, find a waterline color, and I will be right back for you. Okay, so this is how it turned out once I caught up the other side. Honestly, I think it's beautiful. And that palette pull-in shade, the peach shimmer, I really wasn't sure how that was going to work out, but oh my word, how it changes the look, really brightens it a bit and gives it maybe a little bit more of a grounding tone, because blue and purple are not really grounded. They're a bit more whimsical, right? But if you bring in something that's a little bit orangey or brown, a slight earthy lean, such as peach, it really changed the look, didn't it? I think it's beautiful. You know what I use my waterline? Of course, I put on some mascara. I didn't do any eyeliner. And then on my face, I'm wearing this bronzer from Physicians Formula. I have my Tulum palette from BH Cosmetics for sale. So this is the single bronzer I have in my collection, and I think it's totally fine. It's linked below along with everything else. I have a purple highlighter on. Can you guys see that? I really hope you can see it. It is from my Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I used the purple shade, obviously, because I just said that. On my lips, I'm wearing the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Showering Sunset. And that's the whole look. I put on some mascara. Tell me what you think. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. I think it's really beautiful, and I have to wear it all day long, so that's perfectly fine by me. I think it's lovely. Tell me also what you think about rearranging furniture to give your room a refresh. You have experience doing this, And what do you think? Is it a good alternative if you don't have the funds or ability right now to buy new stuff or to replace older dingy furniture? Does putting it in a different location make you feel better about it? Does it sort of scratch the itch or get you out of the funk? I would love to hear your thoughts. I so appreciate your time. Thank you for clicking on my video and for spending this time with me here today. I do hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing before you go if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye!